UIC.
Freedom the people of
Hell yeah.
freedom the people of need. Yeah, yeah. Freedom the people of want. Freedom the people of need. Yeah, yeah. Freedom the people of want. Freedom the people of need. Yeah, yeah. Freedom the people of want. Freedom the people of need. Yeah,
Yeah. Real man a road. Now bow wolf in a tree grand a road. Now bow down to no demon a road. UIC when you see man a road, me say yeah. Real man a road. Now bow wolf in a tree grand a road. Now bow down to no demon a road. UIC when you see man a road. Ready for broke every chain. That when you free up the people, levitate. Jamaica member, you ever great. I feel burn up the fire upon every snake. Me give thanks in every way. God still a look down once see we safe. UIC run the road long time. GLP and PMP I sell we out. Still I do the test even though we know the end result. If them coulda kill with them catch we and hang we know. No force no coercion, me freedom in a step. No one fi rob we and kill we and feel them I go make it out. You know see the leeches, you know see the hands of the devil when him sleep with. You know see the leeches, you know see the hands of the devil when him sleep with. Yeah, real man a road. Now bow wolf in a tree grand a road. Now bow down to no demon a road. UIC when you see man a road, me say yeah. Real man a road. Now bow wolf in a tree grand a road. Now bow down to no demon a road. UIC when you see man a road. Yeah, me drop the graphing now, and then I laughing now. What them talking about? Everything cement and we not talking growth. Jamaican intellectuals are marching now. Them couldn't get the last laugh, now them laughing loud. We don't need the small talk when we talking, bro. We don't need them 5 grand, we need to part them now. Long time GLP and PMP I sell we out. Still I do the test even though we know the end result. If them coulda kill with them catch we and hang we know. No force no coercion, me freedom in a step. No one fi rob we and kill we and feel them I go make it out. You know see the leeches, you know see the hands of the devil when him sleep with. You know see the leeches, you know see the hands of the devil when him sleep with. Yeah, real man a road. Now bow wolf in a tree grand a road. Now bow down to no demon a road. UIC when you see man a road, me say yeah. Real man a road. Now bow wolf in a tree grand a road. Now bow down to no demon a road. UIC when you see man a road, yeah. Real man a road. Now bow wolf in a tree grand a road. Now bow down to no demon a road. UIC when you see man a road, me say yeah. Real man a road. Now bow wolf in a tree grand a road. Now bow down to no demon a road. UIC when you see man a road. Hell yeah.
I need the opinion of the Jamaican people. Everybody here. We have across all streaming platforms. We have 100 and something right now. But here's what I wanted to do before I share this. I want everybody right now to share the stream, subscribe, like, share to your friends on WhatsApp, on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube. Let's increase the amount of people watching this stream, because what I'm about to talk about right now is very, very important. And if you're on Instagram and you want the full experience, go over to our Facebook, our YouTube, and our Twitter page, and you'll see you get to see Kavaughn Harris, and you get to see all the comments on screen that are being made. Right, it's a better experience there. You can head over there, but if you want, you can stay here and watch, and I might end up bringing somebody on the screen so you can send a request. Now, there's something I want the help of the Jamaican people with. Now, a young girl, 9-year-old, she was kidnapped and assaulted, but she was found. The people of St. Thomas came together, they united, and they found her safe and alive. Another child was kidnapped, 13-year-old, and they found her this morning. So last night I was speaking with Tanya Stevens, and we were speaking for like an hour. Um, um, we spoke about, of course, liberty. We spoke about the mandated jokes, but we also spoke about this situation. And basically, Tanya gave me homework, right? Not on purpose, but it's just a homework I wanted to do. So I ended up reading Jamaica's Sexual Offences Act. I have it here right now. So my kids got a hold of it, as you can see. my my kids got a hold of it, but it's fine. The rest is still legible. So I got a hold of the act and I read it last night, from front to back, and I just wanted to see what was there to protect, not just Jamaican children, but individuals who are subject to abuse by others, right? So a lot of people want the minimum wage raised, and others want to bring in a registry. So what I'm gonna do right now, because Instagram is a little short change, I'm gonna allow anybody from Instagram to come on and give me their opinion on what they want to see in regards to age of consent and what they want to see in regards to a registry. I'm also going to post the link for this restream in the chat on Facebook and on YouTube, and you guys can enter, and then you guys can provide your opinions as well. So I just posted that link for the restream. Now, fair warning. So when you come on, please ensure that you don't use any curse words. Try to be as respectful as you can. Don't be like me, right? So be as respectful as you can, so that we can have a really good communicate. So I just sent the link in the chat. If you're on Instagram, you can click the join link, and then you can come on and give us your opinion on what you want to see in regards to Jamaica's Sexual Offences Act, and how you think what you think is the best way possible to protect Jamaican children and to protect women in this country. Click the link, enter the stream, and let's talk. The UIC is an organization that listens to people, and we are an organization that takes advice, and the advice that you give us today may be a very, very, very valuable advice. So we have Misha here, but Misha, so guys, when you come on, you have to turn your cameras on, otherwise the stream won't pick you up. So Misha, I see you there. Can you turn your camera on so that everybody else can see you and so that they can hear you? So if you're gonna come on the live, guys, turn your cameras on. We're waiting. Don't stop sharing the stream. Share it on WhatsApp, share it on YouTube, Twitter. We lost Misha. Okay, so let me first speak on the registry. Since I see Empress Rain here in the comments says registry, yes, age of consent somewhere between 16 and 18, depending on the status of youth. If emancipated minor 16, if still being supported by parents 18 years. Okay, I read the act, and a lot of Jamaicans don't know this, but in the act, there is a registry. Jamaica does have a sex offender registry. How many people knew that? If you knew that Jamaica had a sex offender registry, comment yes in the chat. If you didn't know, comment no in the chat. I want to see what I'm dealing with here. Let me know if you knew that Jamaica had a sex offender registry. Okay, so Empress Rain says she knew. Big Dream says no. Fame Hub says no. Insta Spy says yes. Okay, keep it coming, keep it coming. I want to see. We have 169 people there. I want to see how many people knew and how many people didn't know. Okay, because this is very, very important. Because if a majority of Jamaicans did not know that Jamaica had a sex offender registry, then we have a big problem.
So true.
We have a really big problem. So for anybody listening that wants to find the section in the act, keep going, keep saying no or keep saying yes. I want to know how many people. I want to count this because I want to see how bad this is. So it's called the Sexual Offences Act, and it's part 7, section 29, called Sex Offender Register and Sex Offender Registry. That's what it's called. So in the comment section, I see a majority of people saying no and a minority of people saying yes. So we see one. I see 2 people saying no here. I'm saying yes, sorry. And I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And on Instagram, I see 1, 2, 3 persons saying no and 4 persons saying no and 1 saying yes. So that leads me to believe, let's say that this pool is a pool that's similar to the current environment in Jamaica. That would mean that over 98% of Jamaicans don't know that Jamaica has a sex offender register and a sex offender registry. And that is definitely very bad. Now, I want to read something out to you guys here because it's very, very important. Seeing as the government did not tell you, we'll tell you, and we'll tell you what it says. Latoya says, even if it even exists, it has been ineffective. I am going to go through. It's a very short section. I'm going to go through it with you guys and let you know what it says. And remember, keep sharing this stream. It's very, very important for everybody to hear this. Okay. Now, it says here, Part 7, Sex Offender Registry and Sex Offender Registry, Section 29, there shall be a sex offender register and a sex offender registry. The registry shall be under the day-to-day management of the Commissioner of Corrections, and the register shall be maintained therein. Now, that means to the Commissioner of Corrections, that's the entity that deals with the prison system. And this Commissioner of Correction falls under the Minister of National Security. So if you want to ask somebody a question about this, about why 90+% of Jamaicans don't know about this sex offender registry, you need to talk to the Minister of National Security about that. You might need to send him some letters, or give him some phone calls, or even go to his office and find out exactly why he did not publicize this, because he knows that a majority of us doesn't read. Who doesn't know that a majority of us don't read? And we're not going to take and act with children, scribble all over it and go inside of it and read it. Majority of people won't do that, right? So it's a very important thing for government to communicate to the citizens, right? No. The register shall consist of information supplied by persons who are required to make a report under Section 30, and such other information may be prescribed. I'm going to tell you about Section 30 in a few. Put up the Ministry of National Security information and post his address. Empress, thanks. Kavaughn, can you find the address for the Ministry of National Security and the information for the minister? We are going to post it in the comment section. You guys can call him. You guys can go to the ministry. You guys can send letters to them asking why you did not know about this. And when I finish reading this, I'm going to ask you what's missing. There's something very important missing from this, and I'm going to ask you what's missing. No. The minister may make regulations prescribing the procedure for entry of information into the registry. So the minister decides, the Minister of National Security, the establishment and location of sex offender registration centers. No, this is very, very important. It says here that the minister may make regulations prescribing the establishment and location of sex offender registration centers. Now, I'm going to ask another question. How many of you were aware that there exists in Jamaica sex offender registration centers? How many of you were aware of that? And when you write your letters to the ministry, please ask the ministry where these sex offender registration centers are located. We want to know. I see VP Boss send some information here in Instagram. Unfortunately, I can't copy it over to Facebook and YouTube.
That's me. I'm VP Boss on Facebook.
You're VP Boss. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, you posted it in Instagram. Can you post it? Okay.
Yes, and I posted it on Facebook as well.
Okay, so I'm going to put it on the screen so everybody can see it. Everybody can see it. So, yes. So VP Boss put it in the Ministry of National Security. Okay. In Instagram, I should say. So, the Ministry of National Security, North Tower 2, Oxford Road, Kingston 5, Jamaica. And that's the number. That's the email. So, draft the email. So don't send it yet. So, wait until this live is done. Start to take notes. Right? The first note is, one, you were not aware that Jamaica had a sex offender register and a sex offender registry. That's note number one. You ask him, why was this not communicated to the people of Jamaica? Note number two, there exists the establishment and locations of sex offender registration centers. Ask the minister where these centers are located and if they exist. We want to know where they are, right? Okay, so take notes, right? So this is going into your email, right? We want to know where this is. Now, let's move on to section 30. And the summary for section 30 is particulars of every conviction to be furnished to the registry. And there's something very interesting about this as well. Now, it says the particulars of every conviction for a specified offense committed after the coming into operation of this part shall be furnished in the circumstances specified below. Now, it says if the conviction is recorded in the Supreme Court at Kingston by the Registrar of the Supreme Court, if the conviction is recorded in a circuit court by the clerk of the circuit court, or if the conviction is recorded in the Court of Appeal by the registrar. So that information is basically saying that, so it's saying the particulars of every conviction for a specified offense committed under the coming into operation of this part shall be furnished in the sex registration. Okay, now that's fine. Subsection 2, the circumstances referred to before are that the specified offense is an incest offense, the offender has been previously convicted for a specified offense, or the offense has not been exempted pursuant to subsection 3 below from this registration and reporting requirements. No, I'm going to talk about the registration and reporting requirements because this is going to be very, very important. A judge of the Supreme Court, whether or not the judge before whom the specified offense is tried, may direct that a person who has been convicted of a specified offense be exempt from any or all of the registration and reporting requirements of this part. But before I finish, what this is saying is that the judge can basically exempt somebody who has committed an offense under this act from being registered on the sex offender registry. Now, let me continue reading. It says the way for that to happen is if the conviction of the offender being a first-time conviction for a specified offense. Now, let me stick on that point. This is your second point that you want to put in your email to the minister, or you want to put in your letter, or when you call, you want to talk to them and ask them about this. No. This is saying that the judge has no power to place somebody on the sex offender registry if they raped or if they sexually assaulted any individual for the very first time.
Wow.
Empress Wayne wants me to post the document that I'm reading from. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna go online and I'm going to type it in Google and post it in the comments. I want you guys to bake on that, though. Bake on that for me, please and thanks. And then let me get back to you. I'm gonna find the act and I'm gonna post it in the comment section. So Rain, I can't post it on. Okay, I'll email it to you. So I'm going to post it in the chat here. So I just posted the act in the chat. So you can go to section, sorry, I lost it. Section 29 and section 30. Okay, I just read from 30.3a, right? Now, let me say again. So you have there's the information for the Ministry of National Security that oversees this, and their address and their phone number and their email. I'm going to read this again. Okay, a judge of the Supreme Court may direct that a person who has been convicted of a specified offense be exempt from any or all of the registration and reporting requirements of this part by virtue of the conviction of the offender being a first-time conviction for a specified offense. So, let me tell you exactly what that means. Let's say that an individual, so under this act, I should say, the offenses outlined. Let me tell you what the offenses are. Kavaughn, oh, okay, there you go. Yeah, so let me tell you what these are quickly. So the offenses are rape, grievous sexual assault, and marital rape, and there's incest as well. So those are the offenses. So if an individual commits rape, grievous sexual assault, marital rape, for the very first time, this person is exempt from being placed on the registry. But let's say that person is a serial rapist, somebody that's been raping for a very long time, right? But you don't know, I don't know, the court doesn't know. They've never caught him before, right? But they caught him on his very first offense. That means this person would be arrested, charged, convicted, spend a certain amount of time in prison, and then released, continue his work. Because the court, this act prevents the judge from placing this individual on the sex offender registry. What do you guys think about that section? Before I move on, because this is very important. What do you guys think in the comment section? Let's see here. Let's see. Okay, so I hear, so Don says the Ministry of National Security is not at that location address anymore. So it looks like we're gonna have to find a new address. That's from Don in the comment section. I hope that's the right email though, because I'm definitely planning to send an email on this as well. So I'm taking my own notes. So Conscious and Nurturing says, your kids had the right idea then to color it because it's almost non-existent even though it exists. However, I'm sure the reason for the secrecy is because they don't want to be held accountable. Okay. So what conscious is saying that my kid did the right thing by marking it up because it's a useless document. It doesn't do anything much to. It holds people accountable, yes, but it doesn't go far enough, right? Uh, JM says many of the parliamentarians, their sponsors, celebrities, and influencers are rapists and pedophiles. That's why they make the law so that the judges can exempt these offenders from being registered. I'm not sure. So this looks like I'm not sure when this law came about, but I see a date stamp of 2011 on it. Latoya says, "Wow." Sweet Lady says, "Unbelievable, mind blowing." And Sweet Lady said, "This is why this man ended up taking the 9-year-old child." Kenrick said, "I think that law needs to be repealed." Insta Spy says, "It's shady as usual when compared to other laws and implementation that these governments put in place. Seems like it is the violators who create those laws are enforcing it." You haven't seen anything yet. I still have more to show you. It's going to be a little rocky. You haven't seen anything yet. um,
Uh, yes, Devon. Many of these laws are passed by these lawmakers without teeth, and that is the reason why the laws are not being enforced. And once Jamaican realize that the laws are not being enforced and there's no consequences to their action, then they go about and run freely and do whatsoever they want to do. So many of these laws was made and passed to protect these lawmaker themselves.
mhm. All right. So let me continue. So, so this part is okay. It says that they don't have to go on the registry if the offender is a child. That's fine. The next thing that would exclude somebody from being on the registry is the sentence imposed for the offense being of minimal severity, being of such as may be prescribed. Now, I highlighted that section because that section is very, very important. It says here that no, the judge has the power to exclude somebody from being on the registry if the judge believes that the offense is minimal of severity. My question is, how does the judge calculate severity? Somebody commits rape. Is rape not rape? Rape is rape, right? Assault, grievous assault is assault. I'm going to explain what grievous assault is. Marital rape is rape. So basically, it's saying that the judge has the ability to determine that an offense may be minimal and not allow that person's name to be on the registry. Okay. The next one says, and this is the exemption I'm still on, the judge being satisfied that the effect of the imposition of such requirements on the offender, including on his privacy or liberty, would be grossly disproportionate to the public interest to be achieved by registering the offender as a sex offender. Now, what this means to me is if the person's life or the person's privacy and essentially the person's liberty may be threatened, and this person is excluded, his name is excluded from being on the sex offender registry. That means, you see, the judge can again make up his mind to choose who he or she wants to be on the sex offender registry or not. Because, think about it, if a politician, a big politician, who everybody knows, you know his name, you probably know his address, you probably know where he works, commits a sex offense, right? And his lawyer or her lawyer, could be a him or a her, says to the judge that, dear judge, my client being a politician, being a public figure, his or her security may be at risk if you place his or her name on the sex offender registry. As his or her lawyer, I asked that you do not include his or her name on the sex offender registry. And the judge can say, granted.
Wow.
When I'm doing stuff like this, I like to have a brief moment of silence so people can absorb the information that I'm giving, because I'm giving a lot of information here. Are you absorbing this, Kavaughn? What do you think about this?
Yes, it's wow. I am learning in the process because many of these laws need to be updated. You understand? Many of these laws on the book need to be updated and corrected. And they need the public opinion as well. They need the voice of the people as well when many of these laws is being passed.
Oh, okay. Now, let me see what's in the comments. Okay, so let me move on to the next section now. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to ask you guys a question. So this section here says, a sex offender shall, after the expiration of a period of 10 years after the date of the opposition of the registration and reporting requirements, be eligible for termination of the registration and reporting requirements imposed on the sex offender under this part. So my question for you is, should there be an expiration date on a sex offender registry? What do you think? Comment yes or no. Comment yes or no. Should there be an expiration date on somebody's name being in the sex offender registry? And if yes, tell me what a good expiration date is. Put it 20 years, 30, 40, 50. What do you think? Instagram, you're quiet. What do you guys think? Should there be an expiration date? Okay, Greta Portmore says that let us understand that though people are convicted for sexual offenses, they are not understood to be pathological perpetrators of a crime. Therefore, the legislation allows for discretion. Okay. Yeah, you make sense, Greta Portmore. You make sense. But I'm seeing a lot of discretion here, though.
A lot.
I'm seeing a lot of discretion. So I'm not saying to throw out the whole thing, but this needs to be reviewed. Would you agree, Greta Portmore? Would you agree that we need to review this to give it some more teeth and to prevent any possible favoritism? Okay, let me see what Facebook is saying here. So most people, everybody, I think is saying no. Most people are saying no. Okay, so most people are saying no, there should not be an expiration date. I just wanted to see what your opinions are on that. Okay. Now, I want to go straight to the offenses now that they speak about. So remember I said to you that they have 1, 2, 3, 4 offenses in the Sexual Offense Act. Offense 1 is rape. And the definition is when a man commits the offense of rape if he has sexual intercourse with a person without the person's consent, or knowing that the woman does not consent to sexual intercourse, or recklessly not caring whether the woman consents or not. Um, Personally, I think all that should be changed to person, because a man can rape and a woman can rape. So that should be
Definitely.
changed to person. That's what I personally think. I don't know what everybody else thinks, right? So that's rape. Okay. Now, the other one is called a grievous. I don't know why I can't pronounce this word. Come on, pronounce this word for me, please. I don't know why I can't.
Grievous.
Gre, That's not how it's spelled though. It's spelled Grivous.
Yeah, grievous. Grievous.
Yeah. And it's here.
It's a tongue twister for many people.
No.
Maybe that need to change as well.
So Brother Portmore is saying under Jamaican law, females cannot commit the act of rape. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing here. Based on what I'm seeing here, females cannot rape. Based on what I'm seeing here. So yeah, but you're saying it's mixed. So you're saying it's misspelled in the act. That's why I can't pronounce it.
No, it's not misspelled. It's not misspelled.
Let me see here. No, it's not misspelled. It's spelled Grievous.
Yes.
I guess I just can't pronounce that word. I don't know. I find it very hard because I can't say. There's no way I can say this is grievous because I don't see an I.
Yes.
before that, I see grievous. Anyway, let's continue from the English session. No, it says here, a person commits an offense of that word, sexual assault, upon another herein identified as the victim, where in the circumstances specified. So trigger warning here. We know that a lot of women have been in Jamaica, in particular, have been sexually assaulted. I know that for a fact that a lot of women in Jamaica have also come very close to being sexually assaulted. So I'm just giving you a trigger warning here before I read the rest of this. All right, guys?
Yes.
Okay. So it says here that this is defined when the offender penetrates the vagina or anus of the victim with a body part other than the penis of the offender, or an object manipulated by the offender. Also says causes another person to penetrate the vagina or anus of the victim, places his penis in the mouth of the victim, causes another person to place his penis in the mouth of the victim, or so on and so forth. So that is what this act describes as each of these. There's a reason why I'm reading these out to you. There's a very good reason, right? I'm not saying these things because I want to say them. There's a very good reason, right? And then you have marital rape, and that's where the husband commits the offense of rape against his or her wife. No, the offenses for each of them. That's what that's why I read these because I want to get to the offenses. Okay, here we go. Now, a person who commits the offense of rape is liable on conviction in a circuit court to imprisonment for life or such other term as the court considers appropriate, not being less than 15 years. Okay? That's the offense for that one. The other one, a person Greta Palmer says, we think that the current provisions of the law do not require more teeth because many perpetrators of these sexual crimes are not individuals with a history of convictions of sexual offenses. So, Brother Portmore, I'm gonna. So, how do we know that the person hasn't committed an offense before? So, we're just talking, right? We're just talking here, conversing, in a conversation. But how do we know though? Like, how do we put something together to ensure that we're actually really and truly holding these people accountable while protecting our children and our women, right? So you can answer that while I read the offenses, Greater Pomar. Now, it says here that a person who commits the offense of grievous assault is liable on summary conviction in a resident magistrate's court to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 3 years. On conviction in a circuit court, to imprison for a life or such other term as the court considers appropriate, not being less than 15 years. A person who attempts to commit the offense of rape is liable on conviction in a circuit court where at the time of the attempt he was armed with a dangerous or offensive weapon or instrument to imprisonment for no less than for a term not exceeding 10 years. The other one attempts to commit the offense of grievous assault where at the time of the attempt he was armed with a dangerous or offensive weapon or instrument, is liable on conviction in a circuit court to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 10 years. Now, I read these offenses out for a reason, and here's why. There is a fourth offense in this act that is called incest. Now, it says here that a person who commits the offense of incest is liable on conviction in a circuit court to imprisonment for life. Full stop. Let me ask you a question. What is worse? A brother and a sister having consensual intercourse, or an individual engaging in rape or sexual assault or marital rape? What's worse? Are those worse than incest? I want you guys to leave your comment. Tell me yes or no. Worse than incest or not? So Greater Portmore says, we think that the current provisions of the law do not. I already read that. Empress Rain, you're free to play devil's advocate. Please go away. Please go ahead. Sorry, not go away. Don't go away. Please go ahead. Yeah. So let me ask you a question. If rape and grievous assault and marital rape are worse than incest, then why is it that incest has stronger offenses than the others? The Greater Portmore, you were talking about this earlier in regards to the law having more teeth. Can you explain to us, Greater Portmore, in the comment section, why is it that incest is seen as a more serious offense than rape and the other various kinds of assault? Let me know what you think. And if there are any other lawyers in here as well, let me know. So Brother Portmore says, criminal records exist to track the convictions. However, the registry is designed to highlight individuals who pose a risk to the public for sexual deviant practices. Mm-hmm. Empress says, Devon, a brother and sister having consensual sex is different than the brother. Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. So incest can involve rape as well, right? But the law doesn't discriminate. The law is basically saying that whether it's rape or not, as long as it's a brother and sister or auntie and a nephew or whatever it is, then it's life imprisonment, right? It doesn't discriminate. right? So I said that I was going to ask you a question after I'm finished reading this. I was going to ask you what's missing from this. What is missing from this act in regards to the registry? So I told you that a sexual offenders registry exists, and it exists within the corrections office under the Ministry of National Security. But what's missing? Kavaughn, can you guess?
I know there is two things. What I'm not sure what is missing.
Okay, let me not give you guys a hint.
Yes.
I have yet to find the part in the act that says the general public has access to it.
Okay.
So I don't see where it's possible for a school, for a hospital, areas with vulnerable children or areas with vulnerable women, maybe women's homes. I don't see where the act allows for these institutions, these private and public institutions, to be able to access the sexual registry in order to determine if an individual being employed in a high risk area is actually a sex offender. Do we see the problem that we have here? Greater Portmore, based on your conversation, it seems like you may be a lawyer, and I wouldn't mind you coming on the live stream to talk to us about this. Come on the live stream, Greater Portmore, talk to us about this. Let's hear more of this, because you sound like a lawyer, right? So Empress, you can do an access to information request to the government, but we've done it before with them, and they've refused to provide us with certain information, and they've delayed because we asked them about their COVID-19 testing protocols from January of earlier this year, and they've yet to respond to that, right? So should we have to go through an entire access to information request to access a sex offender registry? Would anybody here argue that the privacy of a sex offender is more important than ensuring that children and women in vulnerable institutions are protected? Come on, Greater Portmore. I see you decline to come on the live. Don't do me that, Greater Portmore. Don't do me that. Come on, we want to hear more, man. We want to hear more. Yeah, so, and Douglas, in the registry, it clearly says that the judge has the ability to exclude certain individuals from being on that registry. So I personally think we have a problem, and I think this is something that needs to be dealt with, and it's really up to us as a people. Yeah, don't just rely on the UIC. Go on the government's website, read the act for yourself. I posted it in the chat. Read the act for yourself, find out what's going on, and see how best you as an individual can actually contribute to getting this change. In my conversation with Tanya last night, she mentioned to me that a group of people actually attempted to amend the Sexual Offences Act, but I don't know exactly what happened. Okay, so Greater Portmore says we are unprepared. How many of you are watching Greater Portmore? He said we are unprepared to join the live at this time. Surely we can participate on another occasion. I would definitely welcome that. You sound very knowledgeable, and I want to hear from you, Greater Portmore. So please send us a direct message on Instagram so that we can follow up on you, so that we can talk more about this.